Hi, in this video we're gonna talk about AI news in the past month. So stay tuned for 3 outstanding news in the field of artificial intelligence. If you didn't experience any video call before 2020, you've definitely had at least one video call with one of your friends, colleagues, or family members in this year. During your calls, you probably suffered from glitches and low resolution of your video conference or video call. You may hear a noise in the environment, or at least you may think a lot about your background and the place that you're going to sit before starting your video call. NVidia Maxine is the technology we need for enhancing the quality of our video calls. Maxine uses AI for performing different types of effects and improvements on video streaming. Let's see how it helps us in this regard. Compressing videos to 1/10 of 8264 encoding could really help you experience a cool and clear video call with a normal or even a low speed internet access. It is not only the matter of the internet speed, but also a matter of packet size. With using compressed video calls, you can conduct calls for 10 hours with paying the same amount of money as conducting a video call with conventional methods for only 1 hour. In addition to reducing the size of videos, Maxine can also increase the resolution of your video calls. AI-based super resolution improves the number of pixels of your videos, which means higher and better video quality. Moreover, it makes the lighting better and improves the contrast of your videos. Using NVIDIA Jarvis, Maxine can help you to take notes and get the answer of common questions by AI during the video conference. Real-time translation is another element that helps you understand the content better without any interference. Denoising and applying sound effects is another feature of Maxine. There were actually some options for applying sound effects on our calls, but it seems that Maxine can do it better with less effort. The denoising feature in the Maxine seems working well and could be really beneficial, especially to people who want to carry out business and educational presentations. Looking for someone suitable? This is the most common problem between all of us, and it could really be frustrating to find an appropriate place for starting on video calls. How can others find a perfect place for their videos? Virtual background lets us feel relaxed in these situations. Just sit somewhere you're most comfortable. The rest of the things are done by Maxine virtual background feature. Face alignment is another feature of Maxine. It helps you gaze exactly at the pupil of your partner, even if you're not looking at the monitor or the camera. But how does it work? It finds key points of your face and uses generative adversarial networks to animate your face in the correct position. But wait for a second please. Using GANs for reanimating my face? This could last a long time and requires a lot of processes which is out of my phone capability. Don't worry, it's solved by the most interesting fact about Maxine. All of the features and capabilities offered by Maxine are totally processed on NVIDIA GPUs in the cloud in real time, so you can still count on the higher quality and accelerated calls using Maxine. Until now, brain-computer interfaces were limited to one-way communication from brain to computer. It means that signals from brain were fed into a computer algorithm in order to gain new information about the things the human is thinking. Researchers from the University of Helsinki have worked on a technique where information found by the computer and brain signals are simultaneously modeled using artificial intelligence model. By this technique, the AI system produces new information based on the brain signals concerning the information presented by the computer. This is called Neuroadaptive Generative Modeling. To illustrate how it works, participants are first asked to focus on a specific human characteristic, such as a human who doesn't smile or an old man. Then they are shown many AI-generated images of different human characteristics, such as female, male, old, young, different hair colors, and so on. And the participants' EEG are recorded at the same time. During these stages, the brain starts to react to the AI-generated images based on the feature that was asked. This is where the EEG of the participants are fed into a neural network. Based on this information, the neural network adapted its estimation as to what type of human face the participant is thinking of. In other words, the technique consists of 3 stages: generate, perceive, adapt. At the generate stage, AI generates hundreds of images. And at the perceive stage, participants are shown the AI-generated images and are asked to focus on a specific feature. At the adapt stage, while the participants are looking at the images and focusing on a specific type of characteristic, the neural network tries to generate new images which matches the operator's perceptual type. Based on the conducted tests, these are the generated images from 16 participants. The participants were asked to think about different features, and if we look at the results, the AI generated acceptable images. While there are some errors among the generated images, the accuracy of the experiment was reported about 83%. Before talking about the visual language model developed by AI2, let's talk a little about its history. In natural language processing, there is a type of model which is called language model. It determines world probabilities by analyzing the text data. By using language rules and feeding the analyzed data to algorithms, it tries to accurately predict or produce sentences and suitable words. Language models were working poorly and were not able to produce long sentences following appropriate grammar rules. However, they satisfied you if you wanted to use a simple function such as autocomplete. But when Google's BERT arrived, everything changed. BERT was created and published in 2018 by Google, and it uses masking technique to discover patterns of the grammar and vocabulary in the given language. By masking, specific words in a sentence are hidden and the model is asked to complete the sentence. For example, this sentence is transformed into this new sentence, and then the model tries to find the most suitable words for the masked places. The idea is that if we force the model to do these exercises for many times, it can analyze, interpret, and generate text in a better way. This idea worked well, and output model reached high level of accuracy and performance. After this step, researchers dived into the idea to use the same thing with the visual language model. In this stage, they used masking technique to hide some words in the caption of a photo. So the model is forced to look at the surrounding words of the caption and the content of the image to find the best match words for the blank. Models trained in this way try to relate text description to visual content, as babies try to make connections between the language they have learned and the things they have seen. For example, the models are asked to complete the caption for this photo. And other models were trained to generate a complete caption for an image. So you can give this photo, for example, to the model and it would say, a man feeding a dog. So now what? Researchers believe that AI is exactly like babies and these language models are even more similar. Babies learn to say complete sentences at the first level, and then they can see a photo and describe it. Following this, after the babies grow up, you can describe something for them and they will draw your description. So the researchers want to do the same thing with AI. They asked models to generate photos based on some specific captions. And what is the result? Let's look again at the babies. When a baby is asked to paint a house, they may paint something like this. But after they are trained a painting foundation, they may see progression in their skills, and this time they may draw or paint something like this. Or this. Interesting, right? The recent performance of the new visual language model developed by AI tool is similar to the paintings of a baby who has not been trained well. Transforming text data into photos is much harder than filling a blank or generating a sentence. So the model really needs time to get better in this way. This is the reason that the generated photos are not realistic, and this really makes sense. To go through some challenges that this model should deal with, we can consider the fact that the model should understand all properties of each word in the caption. For example, if the model is asked to draw a baby playing near a beach, it should identify that the photo should contain a beach full of sand which is near to sea. The ability of visual language models to generate images based on a description is an important step forward in AI research. They also can be used in other branches such as robotics, since robots need to have a clear representation of the world to act more wisely. This was the first episode of Go Through AI News. More things like this and more useful stuff in the field of computer science and AI are on the horizon of this channel. Subscribe to the channel to follow interesting stuff in these fields and like the video if you enjoyed it. Also, feel free to contact us and let us know if you have any comments.